Hey, welcome everyone to another edition of Let's Talk About It. This is Susan Johnson, and I'm here with my co-host, Dennis O'Brien.
Oh, yes, great to be here, and we have a wonderful guest for you tonight, folks. Dawn Niles, who is the chair of the Town Council of the Town of Windham, among many other things. Former chair of the Democratic Town Committee for, 18 years, Dawn?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Long time.
You beat my record. I was up there, but I wasn't up that far. Anyway, she's with us tonight, and we're very lucky to have her. And we're going to talk a little bit about things going on in Windham. There's always something going on.
That's right, Dennis, but she also chairs the Sustainability Committee, and she's doing great work there, and I do come to work on some of the issues with her and make sure we're working on the things that they're recommending at the Capitol.
Yeah, she's been a lot of help, to be quite honest.
Thank you.
And a lot of different things, so I really appreciate everything you've done.
Well, I appreciate working with you, too, and it's been great being able to do this together, and we are doing a lot of good stuff, and we're going to continue to make our town be a featured sustainability town, and we have a lot of ways to do it. We got some legislation passed with the help of our local sustainable committee and the work of you, Dawn. Really appreciate it. And going through that thing that we went through the other day, we won't get into that just yet. We want to get a little more background, but about sustainability. But that thing that you have to do every year to get the new rating, and that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
It's something that takes if you have to actually work on it all year long, but in order to finish it up, you do get assigned what they call a fellowship person, and then he tries to make sure that you've got all your documents in. So that's what we've been working on now for the past 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Is just making sure that we have all the documentation, because the wonderful thing, Susan, is, and I found this out the first year that I sat on this, is Windham was already doing a lot of sustainable stuff. We just didn't have it recorded.
Mm-hmm. I remember that, and I remember how you put it together, so we started getting recognized for all the amazing things that we do. So let's back up a teeny bit and talk a little bit about what the committee does.
Okay.
Well,
I want to talk about Windham Town Council, but that's okay. We'll talk about sustainable first.
It's all about.
We're going to get to the Town Council and to the to what's happening lately. We got some people nominated to run for office again, and we'll talk about that later.
Okay. So a lot of people think sustainable is just talking about energy and things like that, but it's not. It's about open government. It's about a lot of quality of life issues. It's about water. It's all over the place, Susan. You saw that the other night,
right?
When we were going through this. There's so many different aspects of it.
There is, and I was surprised too when I first heard about. I looked at the list of things that qualified us and got us a recognition as a sustainable community. And I thought, my goodness, we're doing those things with educating the children. We're doing those things with health care. We're doing those things with connecting our police with the community. We're doing things with our water sewer authorities, making sure we have one of the most highly rated water areas in the state and in the best tasting water in the state. And we have a lot of the equipment that you need to make sure that we're making sure that our water coming through our pipes is good for our people. So we're doing a lot of things here. And beyond that, it is about energy. And we also have, as you know, the Sustainable Energy Institute, or the Sustainable Institute at Eastern Connecticut State University. We have a very high rating of recycling and taking care of solid waste in the right way. And we just got, speaking of solid waste, we're doing organic waste recycling now, thanks to the work of...
we really, really are. And
yes.
I'm so excited about it. I'm excited and getting a little frustrated because, as you know, we're working with the state to finish the grant. But we were awarded it through DEEP, and we're just waiting now for the rest of the paperwork to be signed. But that award basically gives us that 40-foot vessel that we're going to be able to compost with, as well as the lift truck and the collection receptacles that we're going to need as we go through this. But
$400,000 grant.
it was $400 and something thousand.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's something that we have Click here, community license kitchen, and many of the people in Click, this dovetails beautifully with their work, being able to do organic waste recycling right here, because we have our small farmers that take advantage of the access to a community license kitchen, and they can not only just raise their farm goods, produce the things for the market, but also do the organic waste recycling, which will be really great to be able to produce it back to the farms, because it's organic fertilizer that is really clean and wonderful for the food that they cook, that they raise, and then create for the market.
But some people don't realize is, like, if you go to the transfer station right now, there is free composting from the leaves.
Right.
Because we do compost leaves. But this is going to be added to that to make it even more nutritious, to be quite honest. And but there's more. I mean, a lot of people say to you, why do this? Well, it's obviously really good for the environment. It reduces a lot of putting food that we should be able to use for something else in our landfills, because it does improve our soil and so on. But it also has a monetary effect for the town. And that monetary effect is it's less what we call tipping fees.
Right.
It reduces that, so that eventually what we're going to see is a saving, hopefully, in our garbage
exactly.
contract.
Those tipping fees, of course, for people who haven't spent a lot of time in these areas, have to do with the poundage. How many tons does the town produce every year in waste? That costs us money. Every ton we produce costs us higher tipping fees. So and some of the heaviest weight of our trash is organic waste, the food we throw out. And so
I have to tell you, we started doing it when they started this process about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I weighed it for the first month just to see what we produced. And this is just a household of two.
Right.
And ours, we reduced our garbage, to be quite honest, down to from like 3 bags, I would say, the tall kitchen bags, down to not even one.
Wow. That's
right.
Yeah.
With all, with recycling everything else.
Yeah.
The plastics and so on. But that, we actually, I used it for potting this year.
Good. I want to get one of the. You have a mill, right? You have some type of a mill where you can do it yourself, where you can process it right in your kitchen.
Yes, I can. And it's really simple. I mean, it just it costs me $7 a month to run on electricity, and it produced it. But that's $7. To be honest, think about the reduction that I'm just putting into our garbage stream and just reusing for our environment. But according to Matt Vertifay, who works for our town, he actually said that if only 10% of the population here in Wyndham did this, you're talking almost $43,000 in savings.
Wow, that is wonderful. And the other thing is, when you have that mill, you can toss it out in your yard and grow your plants. And your plants will be much healthier and they'll thrive better. So if you have flowers or maybe you're going to grow some tomatoes or something, this is great fertilizer for that sort of thing.
It is. So we're going to start very simply we're going to start in the middle school when it starts, because we want to make sure we've got everything up and running before we kind of start to have community discussions on it, because we will. And then eventually what we will be doing is putting receptacles throughout the town. Now, these are really sealed receptacles so that they won't be smelly and things like that, and they'll be picked up on a regular basis by our Public Works Department, because the grant also gave us a lift truck.
Wow, I know. It's a fabulous grant.
Right, it is. It is. So, and then it'll go right to the transfer station where we put into this machine, which will be going all the time. And when the machine starts to get filled, it will be dumped into the leaf pile and just turned around so that we're processing it all the time. So the current idea is the same way that we're dealing with the leaf pile. If you need compost, just go get it.
Yeah. Oh, so, okay. So people who aren't composting in their own house, like you are, and like I dream of doing, they can actually go to the transfer station and pick up composted for their yards.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is for free?
Yes.
And so just think of the money that people will save. They don't have to go and buy the compost or the fertilizer for the yard. All they have to do is go to the town and they can get free fertilizer that's organic and good for their plants, good for vegetables that they actually might grow for themselves.
Right.
It's a very good thing.
One thing I would like to do is once we start working all the kinks out, and seeing how much we're able to collect from just our residents and so on. I want to see what would happen if we actually offered it to some businesses. So, but at a cost. In other words, we wouldn't just pick it up for free. But it has to be cheaper than what they're paying for what they're already paying in tipping fees. So we're also considering that as well.
That's a great idea.
We'll start small with that, with like the Dunkin' Donuts and the Starbucks, because what people don't realize is that it's more than just food waste. You can throw in tissue paper, lots of different things. Your coffee filters, your tea bags, as long as they're not plastic. So those types of things can be thrown in.
So any organic type paper, are you saying?
Yeah, well, be careful with how thick it is, so it's more like a tissue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And some paper is pretty thick and some isn't. So.
Yeah. That you're not putting in.
Yeah.
But the receptacle one, if you were actually doing with the ones that we're going to put around town, you could put bones in it. You can't in the machine that I have. It's too small.
Right.
But there will be the ability to put chicken bones and things like that in there.
Well, my understanding too is shells from like lobsters or crab.
Yeah, eggshells go in there. The one I have already takes eggshells. The only thing I can't put in it right now is the chicken bones and the small bones.
Right.
But everything else I can put in it.
But that makes a great combination for fertilizer for the yard or for a garden or for somebody who's growing a little bit of sometimes people grow tomatoes and all different types of things, or pumpkins or squash. This kind of stuff.
Well, I want to talk about some of the we actually have gotten people say, well, why are we a sustainable community? What does it do for you? Well, if you're going for a grant and you're a nonprofit or even an individual, okay, and you can show that we're a sustainable community, you get a head like a check mark on your grant. So the arts are part of it. We have a few people that have gone after some grants that have to do with the arts. The library went after one recently last year. Remember for the lending library for the that was on the bicycle.
Oh yeah.
That was through this program, and recently they just finished up getting a GoFundMe with the tool library, the tool lending library.
Wonderful. It's just an amazing thing. And I always say that, yes, it does help us with fundraising, writing grants, being a sustainable community. That's one way that we get recognized financially. And when we have so many great creative people here, we want to make sure we hook in with them and also have them connect with us, because that committee that you chair is so valuable for so many things.
And then I don't know if you want to talk about it, Dennis.
Yeah,
Susan and
I want to say this, Dawn. One of the things I like about being on this show for more than 20 years as I learned so much, because this is something that I don't know that much about. And I've just listening to you talk to Susan, I've learned all kinds of good things, and I hope our listeners will, will learn too. I mean, sometimes I have to have things in writing in order to learn them
Yeah.
really well, especially all the standards for, what can be recycled, what cannot be, and composted. But this is all very interesting, and
So
I'm really
we're
happy
gonna do
that you've been doing this for so long for the
we're gonna
betterment of
do
our
like
community.
we're gonna do like community meetings, in forums so that people really get to understand. And the reason that we're starting in the school system, we're starting in the middle school, is because, let's face it, that's the best place to start teaching somebody.
Yes,
And they can
absolutely.
teach and to be quite honest, they can teach their parents.
Plus, you've got a whole
Okay?
school, the whole town,
So,
all the kids from town go to
yeah,
school in that one place. The same with the high school, and I think that might be your next
yeah,
view, because if you've got everybody in one place, it's a great way to be able to connect with all the students as they move forward through into high school, and I would say high school too.
yes. I mean, we want to make sure that the entire town is benefiting from it. We chose the middle school because it was all the grammar schools coming into the one,
Right.
and we wanted to just have one place so we can make sure we worked out all of the kinks.
Yep.
Because we really, we haven't done this before,
Mhm.
and Dennis, just so you know, we hadn't planned on getting this far, this fast. We
Yep.
thought if we applied for the grant, hoping to get the receptacles and maybe some literature and things like that, and to get the full grant, we honestly didn't expect it.
Fantastic. I mean, I didn't think this would come this fast either, but I also agree with your choice of teaching the middle school kids. I think they're just right at the right age for that. And as you and Susan both mentioned, all the kids that go to school in public schools come through the middle school, and we don't have we have some high school kids that go somewhere else. Some. And so I think that's the ideal age also to teach kids about things like that, and it sinks in, and
Yep.
and that's really what we need to do. We need people, just like when we started wearing seatbelts many years ago, and took a while for people to catch on and to stop resisting, and you say,
Yeah,
why
it
bother
really
with
did.
this?
Yeah.
And it's something that is we're all doing it now, at least most of the time. And because we know it's a safety, it's very safe, and I think this is a really good thing for our
Well, I was
community, and I'm
I,
glad you're doing it.
I was like at a forum, and Susan was there, and we were talking about the environment, and I'm saying to myself, I'm not getting anywhere getting the adults to it. How can we fix this? And then, to be quite honest, of all things, the fire prevention week, where they teach the children about how to be safe, and then they had a fire, and this young girl actually got people in her apartment complex out because of the things that she learned. And I'm saying to myself, that's the concept we have to go.
Well, I can tell you from being on the board of directors for the Willimantic Taxing District, working with the fire departments and the police department, the kids love the firefighters and the police officers. They do, and they, even the younger kids, the kids in elementary school. So they pay attention to them. They look up to them
Yeah.
as community leaders, and it's really fantastic. And I have to tell you that I've always been a big fan of our public safety people in this town. One of the reasons being that we had a fire in our family, as you know, many years ago. I was in 2005. Six. Okay, it was the same year I had my big surgery, and I can still remember it, and I can remember how all the departments from the whole area participated in saving. Leslie and Tony's home,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. It was just
And
fantastic
they're
the
all
way they came
they're
together.
they're all participating in the Nights Out event that's coming up for the town.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So
I am.
it's just, I love seeing them all come together. Not for fire, but for anything.
Dawn, you
You
just
know?
said something that I've been thinking about for years, and it's so important. I mean, we're all in this together, and sometimes we're going to disagree on details. But in essence, we really have to continue to respect each other and work together as best we can. And I see that happening in the Willimantic and police department and fire department because I'm there on that board that we meet twice a month now. Most of the time, and we're getting reports from the new chiefs, Chief Palmer, and our other chief from the police department, and we're really up to speed, and it's really I still have a lot to learn, but I've learned an awful lot, and I have the utmost respect for the public safety people all over this town.
Well, you already know that I do, so
I know
that's
that.
a given.
I know that,
Susan, before we move on, can we quickly talk about the project that you and I have going?
Oh yes, I do. I didn't want to leave. I'd say we can go into a little bit more detail, but if you want to go for a break first, I got the little break note. So we'll be right back after these messages. This is Susan Johnson with my co-host Dennis O'Brien and our very special guest this evening, Councilwoman Dawn Niles, who also is the chair of the Sustainable Committee. And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back, everyone. This is Susan Johnson. I'm here with my co-host Dennis O'Brien and our very special guest this evening, Dawn Niles, who does so many things in town. Councilwoman Dawn Niles, also, as we were just saying, is the chair of the Sustainable Committee. And a couple more things about what we're doing. And one of the things that I've been working on with our Sustainable Community at the Capitol and got legislation passed, and now we're back here locally to get with having geothermal networks. Geothermal networks takes advantage of what you have right here in the streets, right here in your backyard. There are all types of ways to have a geothermal network. And so we will be doing traveling. We're going to ask people to come to see where other places have done geothermal networks. And, what we have for an infrastructure we've learned can actually create a situation where you could utilize the existing structures that we have here in town called the sewage pipes. And all urban areas have these, and we're going to learn more about how we might be able to save the environment, save costs, and utilize geothermal in many, many different ways. But go ahead.
It's really great because some of the things, the practical uses in our community is that you can use it during any weather. So you're not relying on the sun or the wind.
Right.
It's any weather. It's constant, and it will heat things like eventually schools. You could do fire departments. You can do anything in the town, and this is going to reduce the electricity cost.
Yes, it is.
Along the way. So that's why it's kind of exciting. So as we get further in, I think we should talk about it more, but not tonight.
Yeah, but we do have, I want to make sure people know, and you can tell them how to do this, that we will be doing a tour in Massachusetts to a place that has put a geothermal network in that Framingham town. And so have them sign up if people are interested. And we want to bring in as many people to the conversation as we can. And I will be going across the state to see who else might want to come and maybe invite people from the legislature to go to this. And also our wonderful state representative from New Haven, Stephen Winter, who got a geothermal network already in the New Haven rail area. And we've got to still have him on the committee for a chat because that's one of the things I've been trying to get to do.
Yeah, we unfortunately it didn't work the last time. I think the last thing I want to say about sustainable is I mentioned open government. And open government, just to let you know, the fact that you can actually now see the budget online, and we've been working very, very hard on our town website. All of that was through the initiative of Sustainable. It was one of our first initiatives, actually. So I'm kind of proud of that one.
You should be very proud of that, and it gets people to understand where are my taxes going? What are they paying for? And it's so important to see that budget, see how they're working, and a lot of that's an excellent thing for Sustainable to do, so people understand what we're doing and why and where the money goes. So that's a great bit of work.
Yeah, people need to
So,
understand how much government does for them in very, very many different ways. Like we've been talking about with you, Dawn, because you're involved in so many of these items, and that's so important to have that made available to people in the means of communication that we have at our that we can use in town hall, and I think the internet, opening up the internet to items like that and issues like that are very, very important because people will, begin to appreciate more what their tax dollars are going for.
right, and that's why you're starting to see us do community forums and things like that because this is all sustainable initiatives. This is why we're doing these things. It's to keep people informed. Everybody sort of goes, "Well, why are you waiting till now?" It takes a while for
Yeah,
everything to work. Government, it doesn't work overnight. You and I both know that, and you have to get to these points. But everything also costs. So you
yeah,
also have to find ways to do this over a period of time where it's not costing. We had to buy the program in order to do the budget
yep,
online, and now to start offering other stuff online. You're going to see things like you can actually, if you want to be a developer, you're going to see an initiative from this whole thing where you can actually fill out a form about what you're looking for and everything else right online and let us know that you're looking for this
that's
type of,
really important. That's a really
so
important part of our
yeah,
economic development.
exactly. So it does a lot of different things. And again, we're working slowly towards it. But it does feel like lately we're rushing a little bit, but it's okay.
Well,
We're finally starting to get
well,
somewhere with the program. So I'm kind
as,
of happy about that.
as you know better than anybody, a lot of the work of the town is done by people who are really volunteers like yourself, and
Yeah, a lot are.
right,
And the interesting thing, I think a lot of people think we get paid, or
right.
they all think that. Well, there is. I'm sorry, there's a $1,500 stipend, or no, 1,000. I think it's 1,000. I don't know because I don't take it. I actually donate mine to the dog fund, but
Oh, that's great.
there is a stipend, and I know the mayor doesn't take his either. And I don't. I think there's a few other council people that don't take theirs. But so for the most part, everything is volunteer. And let's face it, 50,000, 1,500 is not even close to basically anything because we are expected to pay for every event that we go to and so on. It's not. We're not supposed to be comped.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
So, but then on top of that, since you're mentioning can I mention the Family and Community Expo that's going to be coming up in August?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so that one is the one that started. We started about, I would say, 7 or 8 years ago, putting our backpack giveaway program that started almost 15 years ago with James Flores and myself. We started combining it with the Wyndham Public Schools and doing it all on the same day. Well, now they do this big expo. And a few years ago, we started doing free haircuts as well.
Oh,
But
that's
they're
great.
basic haircuts.
Yeah.
So it's a great day to come. There's food. There's going to be trucks. There'll be music. There'll be vendors there. It's all at Gilson Square. It's all free. It's from 11 to 2. And you have to be a school age, and that includes whether preschool, and your child has to be there to pick up the free backpack. And the free backpack actually has basically what you need to start, like a notebook, pencils, rulers, and stuff like that already in there.
You sure it's only been 15 years, Dawn? It seems more like
I
25
don't know.
to me.
I don't know.
That goes back a long way. I can remember
Yeah,
doing it with
it
you.
it could be. It could be. I tend to, when we start to get up at this age, Dennis, we try to forget
Yeah.
how long.
Yeah, right. I think it was a lot. It's a lot more than 15. It may not be as many as I said, 25, but it goes back quite a ways. And I certainly
Yeah.
remember it, and I certainly remember playing more of a role in it when it started up. Was led by, of course, you and James Flores, and it was a fantastic event. It was great to see the kids, great to see the parents, and big part of our community.
And now it's basically a council event for the backpack portion.
Yeah.
And so I get some of the council members that actually show up with me to help me give the bags out and so on. So it's a great event, and I love talking to the kids as
I know
they're
you
coming
do.
by.
I know you do. You're
So
like Susan. That's fantastic. I did a lot with kids myself, but I liked coaching them because I had more control. And 2 hours a day was all I could handle. But I was wonderful. I love the kids, and you work with the kids, we work with the kids, and that is so important to have people who devote a lot of time. And we have a lot of volunteers in our town who do the same. And
right.
it's vitally important, and because they are the future. The kids are the future, no doubt about it.
So there's one even before that is coming up that's being put on by the town, and it's called National Night Out.
Yes.
And this is all of our this is our police department in Willimantic and all of our fire departments.
Right.
All four of them are all going to be there. There'll be other organizations there, but there'll be food, presentations, demonstrations, popcorn, a petting zoo, pony rides, face painting, a dunk tank. I think we're going to dunk the mayor.
I think I want to be there for that.
Yeah, me too. Scuba, SWAT, clowns, drones, and a canine. So I know that Wyndham Center is going to do a little bit about their Lucas device machine, which is their CPR machine that they were able to have because of opera money that the federal government gave us, and we allocated a certain amount to each fire department.
That's great.
So they're all going to be there again, and that's going to be the 5th, August 5th from 4 to 8. So those are a couple of events that are coming up that are free to the public, and that we're all kind of trying to volunteer to make sure happen in the right manner. And
that's on the major parcel?
Yes,
That's the Shabu stage, near the Shabu stage.
Yes.
Okay, and that is, Chief Palmer and Chief Silva pointed it out to us at the last meeting and said, make sure you guys are there, because we always, we on the board always want to know when somebody's being sworn in and whenever any kind of event is going on, because we like to meet the officers and the firefighters and get to know everybody. It's one big happy family, and I really appreciate them having that, and I'm so glad it's town-wide.
As somebody who now serves at large, I would love to get invited to some of those too, but unfortunately, not yet. I'm working on it.
Well, I will have to let you know, Dawn, because I had a press to get invited myself, and I have some on my calendar now, and I will send them over to you by text.
Okay.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Yeah, I think
so those are the two initiatives that the town council and the town of Wyndham have been putting together. But we've been also working really, really hard on trying to keep the budgets down. A lot of people seem to think that the town budget went up this year, the one that they voted on, and it didn't.
Right.
Our particular budget was actually below last year.
Yeah, you all did a great job.
And it was hard, and it's
not easy.
very, very difficult to reorganize a town hall when the people that are working there are people you've known for years.
Yep.
And so it was not an easy task, and we're still working it out, but it's everybody is trying really, really hard to get together and to make sure that we're doing the best we can for the town.
Well, when you think about it, Dawn, when we started this year, this 2025, and we're only in August. We had to find a new town manager, a new chief of police in Willimantic, and a new fire chief in Willimantic.
Yeah.
And fortunately, the two chiefs in Willimantic came up through the ranks, very, very experienced, very capable people, and they're doing a great job. And they haven't missed a beat. It's really great to have Chief Palmer and Chief Silva.
I've known Chief Palmer for a long, long time, and you couldn't have a better person. The new person that's going to be appointed as his deputy is going to be just as great.
Yep.
The other chief, Susan, is that what his name? Yeah. I actually was on the interview committee, and I was so impressed with his interview. I actually didn't remember him until he walked in the door, and I had met him the first time because he was the canine person for the dog park.
Yep.
And we were naming the dog park after the dog that had passed away.
You're talking about Fabian Silva.
Yeah,
the
Silva.
chief. He's very popular.
And I didn't.
Great personality, wonderful guy.
I didn't realize that's who it was.
Yeah.
And Again, I'm really happy with the choice. So
Yeah, well, I hated to lose Chief Hussey and Chief Scrivener, but we had, like I said, we haven't missed a beat. These guys are well prepared, and they were, they went to work right away, and now we're going to have a great, terrific deputy chief who actually lives out in the Wyndhams,
yes,
who is going to be, as well. I mean, he's
so
he's brought in hundreds of thousands of dollars to the fire department in the form of grants. He's a
right,
terrific grant writer, and and we also have a terrific deputy chief in Chuck Miller in the police department. So
right.
we are really well staffed. We really met the challenge of losing three of our top officials in this town, including our town manager.
Well,
And
I don't know
I'm
if
very
you know
pleased.
this about Peter, who's going to be the deputy.
Yep.
He actually also sat on the Wyndham First Taxing District for almost 10 years.
Okay. No, I didn't know that. I knew he lived
Yeah.
out there.
So he knows volunteer fire department
Yep.
as well as paid.
Yep.
So I'm very, very hopeful that there'll be much more collaboration. I've seen it already with Hussey. That I'm hoping that it just continues.
I see no reason why
needed.
it won't. I see no reason why it won't. And I'm really happy. I wasn't planning on continuing to run for office at my age, but I was so pleased to be part of the taxing district board of the Willimantic Taxing District with police and fire. And we're talking now about, and we won't get into it now, but we're talking about now possibly working with the town council to act as a parking authority in the city, and this is very exciting. We've got a good group of people, and we're working together, and I think Wyndham government is doing well, and I'm really impressed with the town council, the Board of Education, and our Board of Finance. I think I'm looking forward to the election this year. I think we're going to do very well.
I think as long as we just all go in there and actually continue to do what we think is right for the community, and we keep the information flowing out to the community, that's when it's going to work the best. It's when we decide that we want to politicize everything that there's a problem. And you know what? In reality, this council has really tried not to do that, and it's hard, especially now it's election time. But
well, yeah,
to be quite honest, when we work together, we get a lot more done.
Yeah, I've always said that. I remember I used to swear people in a lot when I was judge of probate, and one of the things I used to say, and I surprised the Republicans after we swore people in, I would say, election's over now. Now we work together. Everybody works together. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
And one of the other things I want to just mention is the fact that, working with the council, working with the Board of Ed, working with your new town manager, who is very easy to contact and discuss issues with, and actually is taking on a lot of the responsibilities that need to be done for the town, like looking at fundraising and that sort of thing, and writing grants and organizing people so that we can so that me as a state representative and Senator Flexner as well can work with the town to make sure that we are connecting on the issues that we pass in legislation, say, for example, bonding or grants.
Well,
these kinds of things are the great things that he is very connected with, and he's sending out this weekly notification to everybody.
Oh, I have to tell you that those are wonderful.
Yes, they
are. We get them, and we can ask questions, and right now he's decided that he's answering the questions the following week in the post, so that everybody has gets the answer to the question. So that I like that a lot. Instead of us having to waste a lot of council time, because again, people seem to think that the council meetings are a place to go and just talk, but they are a business meeting, and that's where we have to conduct our business.
That's right.
And,
and you know what? I just want to commend you and all the members of the council. You did a marvelous job of hiring with the town manager, and you were also involved in hiring the police chief and fire chief in Willimantic. And
thank you.
I'll tell you, I couldn't be more pleased with the three leaders that we chose to replace, three leaders who left.
Well, I know you wanted to talk about the election. You don't have much time left, so yes, I'm running at large
You're
again.
running at large again. I see that. You and same trio that ran
Yeah,
last time.
same
You and
trio that ran last time.
great
We actually
solid
built,
team.
yeah,
Randall
Bill
Prose and
Sayers
Bill
and
Sayers.
Randall Prose.
Yep.
Yeah, we're very, very. I mean, it's a great team to be working with. Everybody who's running is a great team to be working with. I'm really excited. I think that I've watched some of the new people that are sitting on there really start to grow this last year, and it'll be interesting to watch at least one more year. I think then that might be it for me, Dennis, but we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. It all depends on how healthy I am, and right now I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm also, as you can tell, I'm very enthusiastic about the town government and how it's working
Yeah.
in all respects. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. Happy to have my name on the line, on the Democratic line for the election in the fall.
I just want to say one thing about running at large. I mean, when I served on the council, or it was the Board of Selectmen then, it was, it was just the villages, that representation, and then the people who represented Willimantic. And, it kind of kept us apart. But having you and having people run at large, so you have the combination of overseeing the entire town and all the different aspects of it is really a very important way to help everybody connect in the town of Wyndham.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think that's why you're starting to see us start to gel and understand how to get things out there a little bit better. Because in the past, you're there representing the villages, or you're there representing Willimantic, and it was hard sometimes to figure out where you were in the spool of things. This is a lot easier this way. So good job, Dennis, on that part.
I'm glad we talked about this, Dawn, because you and Randall and Bill and whoever is elected, I'm assuming that you three are going to win because you've done a great job. And,
well, I'm
and,
hoping.
and I'm hoping too. And there'll be if that happens, there'll be one other person on there, and I'm going to start letting you know all about what's going on with the local board of covering the police and fire in Willimantic, because you are as we talked about when I appeared before you to talk about the parking authority. We are all one town, and and people who live in Willimantic also live in the town of Wyndham, and it's important for people in Willimantic to keep that in mind at all times.
Exactly. So I wanted to tell you about an initiative. It started with Chief Scrivener, but when Chief Hussey took over, Susan, he became my co-chair, which was the for Heart Safe.
Oh yeah,
and
that's wonderful.
We have AEDs now in just about every one of our recreation parks, which is something that is a new initiative. Just like when we had it in the schools, we did that before it was mandated.
Yes.
And now we're starting to do it in the parks. And Susan, one of the things we are going to do, and that will be coming out soon, is we're going to be putting Narcan in these boxes.
Wonderful.
So not only will they have a defibrillator, they also have bleed kits.
That's great.
They're going to have the Narcan. So we'll be doing press on that as soon as we get that all situated. But that's because of the work that he's done. Oh, and I forgot Wyndham Cares. I don't want to run out of time.
Quickly, we're almost out of time.
So
we got about a minute, Dawn. So it's all yours. It's all yours. You get all the time.
August, what, Susan? I gave you the date. August 3rd?
August 3rd. Yes, Wyndham Cares is August 3rd. Yes. And what time?
1 to 4, and we're going to be at IGA, and we're going to be trying to help out the soup kitchen because they are having a lot of trouble, and they need some non-perishable food. So we will be at Bob's IGA collecting non-perishable food from 1 to 4 on that Sunday, August 3rd.
Excellent point. And you've also got a backpack giveaway on August 23rd.
Yeah, the backpack is the council. Wyndham Cares is the other.
Okay, very good. So one other thing. So as the chair of Wyndham Cares, are you also suggesting that people send a check to the
yes,
shelter?
Absolutely. If they can send a check to the soup kitchen, that would be great. And by the way, I'm co-chair. Ernie Eldridge is my counterpart. Another one, we're two people who different parties work together to make sure something happened. And again, we take on different projects. Our main one is usually the toys, but we will take on other projects as they come up. and this is very, very important. So
that's August 3rd, Wyndham Cares, and it's for the Soup Kitchen at the IGA, and it is for what time?
1 to 4.
1 to 4.
1 to 4. So everybody join up.
We'll be getting the flyer.
Thank you,
we'll
Don
be getting
Niles.
the flyer out soon.
Thanks, Dawn. We really appreciate having you on the show.
Yay.
Thanks.
We somehow got it. We didn't get all the stuff in that you do, but we'll have to have you back again real soon. Thanks, Dawn.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.